gentlemen, welcome to Junkyard Interview.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Junkyard Interviews. The guest that you're about to meet is a metalcore band out of Colorado. Now, these guys have been making music for a decade, but they just released an album that has sent literal shockwaves through the world of metalcore. Hammer that heart button and show some love for Fighting the Phoenix. Welcome back to Junkyard Interviews. I am, as always, your host, Jack O'Keefe. This episode of Junkyard Interviews brought to you by MinneZona Sports Live, your home for sports broadcasting. I'm sitting down tonight with Colorado metalcore band Fighting the Phoenix. This is a highly anticipated interview. So excited to have you guys on the show. Gentlemen, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Well, I'm Zach. I play guitar and I sing in the band.
I'm Kyle. I play bass and I do some backup vocals as well.
My name's Chris. I am Trash and also the vocalist.
Trash indeed. I am also Kyle and I just play drums. Stick to only drums. That is my role.
All right. Now there is a fifth member of the band, Brandon, who's not here tonight. He's a backup guitar. What's that guy doing?
Me and him, we don't really have a lead guitarist in this band. We both equally shred. So we both kind of share a lot of the guitar weight. It's really, no one really shines out. We just kind of split it equally, but yeah, it's working right now, which is a bummer.
Yeah, for sure. But he's the new guy, so he has to carry all the gear, right?
Yes.
There you go. All right, so Fighting the Phoenix began in 2011, right? So take us through that journey, 2011 to 2021, 10 years of Fighting the Phoenix.
It's crazy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so we played a talent show at our high school. We played Unholy Confessions by Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah.
And then we played the following year. Then we did a Bless the Fall cover. But me and the Kyles were the three founding members. And we've known each other for years. We played soccer for years and years and years, probably like 20 plus years. So
It really started with Zach and I, just as brothers, of course, just jamming in the garage, learning covers, and just playing some songs, some pretty simple stuff, obviously, when we were just in the early stages of our musical career. But and then it just kind of took off from there. Wanted to form actually a group.
Yeah. And I started off in a punk rock band back when I was like 13. So, had the Liberty Spikes and all that craziness, and was doing that for a while. And then these guys kind of quote unquote headhunted me. It was like, hey, you want to play in a metal band? I was like, absolutely.
You don't say no to that.
Right.
And we found Chris.
I was headhunted.
Yeah, we did headhunt Chris from another band here
I
in
was found.
Springs.
I was lost, but now I'm found.
Yeah. What year did we get you? Was it
2014.
14? I think
14.
it was.
He's been with us for a
Yeah, he's
majority.
been with us for a real long time.
Okay.
We've been
All right, so man, you guys got together and you started, doing work. Now you just released your newest album, Element, and that has kind of sent a shockwave through the metalcore world. So talk to us about how it feels to see that the numbers keep climbing and viewership and listeners and all that stuff for that new album.
It's great.
Yeah,
Honestly.
Yeah.
feels amazing.
Not something we were really used to off of our previous releases. We've been a band for freaking 10, 11 years, close to now, and just finally seeing this work of art that we've been working on for a long time actually get some recognition and actually get out there is something that we haven't really been able to do before. So it's been nice.
That's pretty cool because we took our time on this one. The two brothers, Zach and Kyle, they come up with a lot of the stuff, on their own, and then the rest of the members kind of come in and put their own twists on it and add vocals and stuff like that. But this is one of the first albums where we didn't just knock it out in 6 months to a year. There's some songs that you can find on YouTube of Kyle doing drum covers 4 years ago of this album, and he just looks so young. I was watching, I was like, dude, you didn't even have the hair that you have. You look skinny.
Didn't even
you're
have
not
a
ripped
single
like you are
tattoo.
now. Yeah.
Still only have one.
It's been cool because we're from a band. We're from Canyon City, where we can't even play our hometown. So we start off super slow. So to have numbers such as these, pick up after these years, it's pretty rewarding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now, so Element came out, it sent that shockwave. People love it. So how has that changed, the future projections for what you guys are doing?
Ooh, future projections, man. We are filling our plate up again. It's really hard. Like we can't get to the vegetables on our plate right now. It's just too much. Everything's falling off the plate because we've got so many plans and projections for the future.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
that's
we were
awesome, right?
we named the album Element because we all feel like this album was the album where we actually found our quote unquote element, like our sound that we really like. So with that being said, we got some other works in play. Like Zach, tell them a little bit more about our EP that we're doing.
Yeah, so working on a fantasy themed EP. We're not gonna drop what it's about right now, but we got that in the works. We got a lot of other exciting things we're really looking forward to. Yeah, it's gonna be a busy year, but we're looking forward to it.
That's good. So a lot of doors getting kicked open here. That's awesome. So interestingly enough, you guys have settled into the metalcore world. It's not a genre that typically gets a lot of attention. So how does it feel, coming from a hometown where, as you said, you can't even play your own music and representing this genre that a lot of people are still kind of turning their noses up to?
I'm about to say Metacore has been around for a while, and for all the metalcore nerds, we love you. And for everybody else who can't handle it, who don't like you screaming,
But I mean, I think I dig it, in my personal feel, because like you see a lot of the other bands nowadays that started off like really heavy and have like worked their way to, kind of like what we like to call like dad rock, you know what I mean? Because they make more money, it's more pleasant to hear, whatever. And I just don't feel like that's like who they really are, I feel like they went to that for the money. And that's something that I don't think that like we'll ever do, because we enjoy playing this music. And that's why we try to stay so versatile. Like you hear our albums, if you go through and listen through some of our works, we have songs that are extremely calm. We have songs that reach over into the deathcore range. Like we don't feel like we have to completely change how we play our music in order to satisfy our fans.
Yeah. You gotta love what you do as well.
Let's talk about highlights. 10 years of making music, there has to have been some moments that you were just like, yeah, this is what it's all about.
There is
some tours.
Yeah, we've been on some tours. My favorite moment is when so remember how I said we couldn't even play our hometown, being from Canyon City. So we played our 7-year anniversary show at the Black Sheep, and we sold that bitch out. I mean, it was a lot of work between all of like us and all the other bands on the bill, but to play a headliner at like the venue in town was just like a sold out show was just
mind blowing.
Yeah, it was cool. Nothing beats that. That's my favorite memory so far that I can think of right now.
Yeah. What about you, Chris? What's yours?
No amount of money, fame, or anything will ever change when somebody walks up to you and knows your words and your like music by heart and tells you it changed their way of like looking at the world. That's what changes it for me. And it happens, but it's a rare thing. But when it happens, it reminds you of why you do it. It like fills your heart more.
Yeah, exactly. For me personally, I think the craziest moment that I've had was, I think we were playing a show, I believe it was in like Nebraska. It was some bar that we were playing, and we ran out of shirts, and this dude loved our band so much.
Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas. Yeah. Okay, yeah, he loved our band so much, and he was like so sad that he couldn't like get any of our merch. And I was actually wearing one of our band shirts that night playing the show, and I literally just took the shirt off of my back and just gave it to him, like sweat-filled shirt, just gave it to him. And this dude was just like so happy. He was like, "Oh my God, are you serious? I can have this shirt?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's yours, man. Thanks so much for coming out and supporting us." And that just made that dude's night. And it's things like that, that are just the craziest thing.
It's practically the equivalent of a professional athlete giving his game jersey to a child.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, I honestly never thought that we would ever get to where we are. Like I always like had hopes and dreams about doing it. But like kind of like you said, how many people like in your high school were in bands, and you're just another band out there, like what separates you from them? That's kind of like what I was thinking. And then like now here we are 11 years later, still a band, still going strong, and still writing music and wanting to tour more, and it's crazy. We're blessed for sure.
Yeah, and so interesting. You said you want to tour more, and certainly COVID has stopped a lot of things from happening. Now as vaccinations are coming out and people are starting to ease restrictions, what's next for Fighting the Phoenix?
Shots.
No.
I think he means COVID shots.
Oh.
That's exactly what I mean.
We don't know as far as touring goes. We're super busy with like new music and stuff and new opportunities that like touring, it's up there on our list, but it's definitely not number one. So like until we know we can tour again, because also you got to think when tours first open up is a lot of the precedence is going to be for the bigger bands that had tours cancel and that are being rescheduled. So like for bands of our size, touring is going to be just like first starting out, it's going to be tough. So that's what we're really focused on, the music side of things right now, and we'll get to touring, I guess when we get to touring, but
yeah. First things first is just playing some local shows when shows come back, and we'll just get our foot in the door that way again and just get some stage presence.
Got to rebuild them stage legs.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I think that the thing that really helps you guys is you released Element in the middle of all this nonsense. So like nobody ever really forgot about you.
Totally.
Right.
And that was our first release for about 4 years.
Yeah, it was.
So the plan was, of course, we had the album pretty much finalized and ready to put out. And then, and then COVID hit. So we were just kind of thinking on a game plan, and we wanted to obviously play like shows off of it, tour. So we were just feeling it out. Clearly there was no end in sight at the time. So we're just like, guys, we got to get this out. Got to get this out there. Give people something to experience during these times as well. So.
Yeah. Awesome. I want to make sure you guys get an opportunity to shout out anything that you want to talk about before we end the interview.
Yes. I want to give a shout out to the current GM of the Black Sheep, Kevin, as well as the former GM of the Black Sheep, Jeremy. Love you guys, and I know you'll watch this.
Me personally, I want to shout out one of our sponsors, which is Alwyn James from Dubs Up International. He's always hooking us up with the coolest tattoo work and giving us the greatest deals. So if you need tattoo work in Colorado, go check him out.
You gonna call out your mama, or you gonna call out Chelsea?
I would like to call out, yes, my good friend Chelsea was just injured in a sledding accident. She's doing well. So we work with this band, Heart Support, founded by Jake Lewis of August Burns Red, suicide prevention, a mental health awareness help group. Anyone can write on their wall at any time and seek help at any time. Doesn't have to be about those things I just mentioned. It could be about substance abuse, just depression. You're not doing so hot, you feel free to hit them up on their website at www.heartsupport.com. And it's just a really great community to be a part of. And we've done a lot of fundraisers, or not a lot. We've done a few fundraisers for them before. We really enjoy being a part of it and done some PR stuff for them. So Heart Support, I can't say enough good things about, honestly.
Love you, John Williford.
Yeah. And we've all had our ups and downs and stuff. So they're just a great community to be a part of if you're ever feeling lonely, and that nobody's out there for you. They're definitely there. So
yeah, that's awesome.
I'd also like to shout out a lot of our buddy bands in town, Minimalist, Elvira, Endless Line. I'm sure there's a few.
Don't forget the one on your shirt.
Oh yes, Long Last. We can't wait to play shows with them again, because every time we play shows with these bands, it's just nothing but a good time. So we're looking forward, boys, to hitting that stage one last time. Or well, probably more than one last time. I hope so.
One more time.
What about you? You want to give thanks to like Granddaddy, Mom, and Pops, or?
I was actually.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking my thunder. Chris.
Oh, sorry.
Mom, Dad, if you guys are watching, love you.
I guess since they're all doing it, I want to shout out to my wife as well for always being super supportive, and all of my family as well for being super supportive. And also a shout out to the guys in the band here with Fighting the Phoenix, always dealing with everybody's crap and just still loving each other. So
he's married.
Married life, boy.
Oh yeah, that's the best life. It's the best life. I have to say that, otherwise my wife will stab me. So
Right.
all right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us on Junkyard Interviews. Very much looking forward to seeing what comes next from Fighting the Phoenix.
Can we stop with the tank for Trevor nonsense? Let's just stop! Stefan Diggs is not going to be traded.
Holy potato. There's 300-400 guys that are flipping burgers right now, doing DoorDash, walking people's dogs that will literally play for the cleats that they get.
Let Dalvin cook.
I will personally go to the Target Center, to the front office of the Timberwolves, and burn that place to the ground.
I thought this was MinneZona, not Call Her Daddy. For you, man. Fantastic. That's all.
Thanks for the page views, Terry.
We appreciate it.
MinneZona Sports Live. Get in the zone.